Hi guys, Darth Deuces here, back with another figure review. Today, taking a look at something different that I don't usually take a look at on the channel. I don't usually look at 6-scale figures in general. This one's even more so a bit different. This is a 6-scale third-party figure of Chun-Li from Street Fighter. Specifically, it is Starman's rendition of the character MS008B on the box. But I seen this figure a while ago because I think this is a reissue, and I think the figure was originally released maybe last year. I'm not sure, or maybe earlier this year. And I've seen videos on it, and I've seen some pictures and whatnot of it online, and it intrigued me for a number of reasons. And I'd be lying to you if I said it wasn't partially because it's a good-looking female character in a nice figure form. But there's a lot of other reasons. One, I just like Chun-Li as a character from Street Fighter, my favorite character from that universe, and I thought this would make a nice centerpiece for my little Street Fighter display. And also, I've never owned a 6-scale figure that was using one of these full seamless bodies, using like this synthetic material for the body to have it seamless and still articulate. So I was really interested in getting a figure like this to see just how well it poses, because I've seen this figure, other people do some pretty crazy poses with it. So I wanted to take a look. But I want to take a quick look at the box. It's actually a pretty nice looking box for being a third-party unlicensed figure. We got an image of the figure itself. This being the reissue, the original figure came with both outfits, but with the reissue, you had to pick one or the other. I decided to go with the alpha outfit because it is my favorite look for the character. I'm sorry, it just is. But the other one looks really good too, and you'll see it in a second. It's on the back of the box, but you just got Chun-Li, and I'm actually kind of surprised they used her actual name for this. But on the back, you can see the other version with the more classic outfit. Like I said, the original release, you just got both outfits, and you can swap it between the figure. But with the reissue, you actually have to pick which one you want, or you could get both, but then you're spending double the price. So, but yeah, the box is pretty simple but effective. It just is a sleeve that you just pull off, and then there's a window. I'm not going to do it because, well, there, I'll give you a quick look. See, like that. It's pretty simple, but I'm going to get the figure up front here, and we'll take a closer look. All right, so here's the figure, and I guess we'll address maybe the elephant in the room right away. Yes, she's got a big ass, and yes, she's got some thick thighs. Yeah, there's some sex appeal to this figure, to put it bluntly. And again, like I said, I'd be lying if that wasn't at least a little bit of my motivation to get this. I don't usually indulge in these type of figures, and that's not an important part of a figure when I'm deciding to buy one. But it was a selling point of this figure because it's a selling point of the character, you know, having these proportions, and her being a martial artist that focuses a lot with her legs when she's fighting. You know, it makes sense the glutes and the legs would be toned and bigger than other characters. And honestly, compared to some other figures, and especially compared to the Cammy that's coming out, where basically the bare ass is out, this one's pretty tame. But I know it's me trying to defend myself for why I bought this figure, but honestly, it doesn't really matter that much to me. It really just matters to you. So I'm actually pretty impressed with this figure. You know, like I said, it's not official, but the body is really nice. The synthetic material is really interesting, especially when I've never handled a figure like this. It's really interesting just to see how it looks and how it feels. And then the figure also is pretty hefty. Like, she doesn't wear like anything too crazy insane. She's just wearing a pretty standard, simple outfit. But the figure is like probably one of the heaviest 6-scale figures I own, even with like characters that are wearing like a bunch of plastic armor and whatnot. She's got heft. And the reason for that is that underneath the body, there is a full metal endoskeleton that allows for the articulation. So the joints are super solid because of that. But I guess first off, we can take a look at the head sculpt. Get it zoomed in here. And I think the head sculpt is decent. I think it is definitely going for like a bit more of a realistic take on the character, I guess. There's another company called Play Toys, I think, who I did a Chun-Li as well, which I would say that head sculpt a bit more stylized to the game, where this one's trying to look maybe a little more like an actual human. I think it looks good. I don't think it's crazy. Like, it's not like a Hot Toys quality level head sculpt or anything like that. But I do really like the eyes. The lips are painted really nicely. She has her mouth just ever so slightly open, and the teeth are painted and sculpted underneath. She does have her earrings, the little like pearl earrings sculpted and painted at her ear, which look really nice, which is pretty cool. Oh, the hair looks pretty good for the most part, although at the edges they do print some finer hair detail that I would say doesn't look amazing, but at a distance it looks fine. She got the buns in her hair here, which are sculpted pretty nicely. And these are actually magnets, because when this figure came with the two different looks, you could swap the buns with the different looks, but because you don't, this is the reissue. You don't have anything to swap it with, so I kind of wish they would have glued these on, because when you're posing, these do like to fall off decently easy. But they do have these soft goods, nice gold ribbons attached to them that look really nice. I like those a lot. And if you want to pose them a bit, you could actually rotate, like if you want to kind of make it look like the ribbons are moving in the wind due to her actions, you can rotate the buns to make it kind of look like that. But we'll position them lower. But then the rest of the figure, you do have the vest. That's probably a more official actual name for what this garment is, but I'm gonna call it the vest. They get the little vest thing, which is really nice. It's made of a bit of a shinier, brighter blue than the rest of the outfits, and make it a bit more differentiated. And the gold looks really nice on the gold trim, and then the little details on the chest there alongside the back, I think looks really good. The just velcros at the front if you did want to take it off, and then the rest of the outfit is basically just the blue bodysuit. It's made of a really nice material that is quite flexible, quite stretchy, which is really good for posability. So I don't really have any issues. I don't think this will get damaged really easily, although you still want to exercise caution when, you know, posing and whatnot. It does have the gold strip that goes all the way down. I am kind of curious how this will hold up on the fabric over time, but we'll see. I just get a look at, you know, I will give you the ass shot, of course. You're gonna want to see it. I got her a bit wedgied up right now. You kind of want to, you know, after you're done posing, you might want to try to sort out the outfit a little bit so you're not giving her a wedgie quite so badly, but the legs look good. I think overall, proportionally, it looks pretty nice. I did pick this one over the Play Toys because I did like the proportions and the design just a little more, and I just liked the Alpha outfit, which that version doesn't offer, at least not currently. So yeah, on the forearms here, you do have these little bracelets that I want to say didn't come with the original release, because it's even on the box it shows the spiky ones, but these are just circles. These might be new. I'm not 100% sure though, but they're not on the figure when you take her out of the package initially. You got to put them on. It is optional. You don't have to have these on the arms, but I would recommend it because it helps to hide the separation of the seamless body and the hands. So probably should just keep those on. And like I said, body itself is nice. It's hard to tell me on camera, but there is some painted, or I guess, yeah, it must be painted detail where they paint some of the body to kind of give it a more natural flesh tone, bring out some of the anatomy's detail. I think there's even a little bit of really subtle vein detailing, which is actually pretty interesting. It's not really easy to see, and you might not even be able to see it on camera, but it is there, which I think is kind of cool. At least I'm pretty sure those are supposed to be veins. Maybe they're not supposed to be there, but that's what it looks like to me. And the body just looks good. Like the arms, they look like relatively muscular, like realistic arms. Obviously, that's what you want them to look like, and I think that's pretty cool. And yeah, obviously it's squishy because it's a, you know, seamless body. But very nice. The only other detail is the shoes. These are cool. There is actual string for the laces, and I wasn't expecting this, but the shoes themselves are actually like fabric. Like, I don't know, or not fabric, but like soft goods bits. Like the blue bits are like a felt or something. The gold bits here are like a faux leather. The bottoms might be plastic, but the rest is actually like other materials. Like if this is Hot Toys, I imagine these would probably be just full plastic. So I'm actually pretty impressed with that. They're pretty cool. I will say maybe the laces are a little too long though, but other than that, they look pretty good. And I think overall this figure just looks really great. Just looking at it on the table, on the shelf and whatnot, it just draws the eye. Not just because of the attractiveness of the character, but just it looks good. It's just a pleasing looking figure. But yeah, I can see, frig man, these strings for the, like this one's coming untied, man. These are not tied super tight. You might have to retie them. That's a little annoying, I'll be honest, but not a big deal. In terms of articulation, I can't pinpoint every single articulation point because I can't see them. The figure does actually come with this little pamphlet that kind of shows you where the joints are at and how you can move the figure. And if you're like me and you haven't posed any sort of figure like this before, I would recommend looking at that so you don't accidentally damage the figure or twist the joints in the wrong way. But like there's joints in the neck, so you can like really move the neck back. Like there's joints in the base of the neck and there's joints in the upper like collarbone area, so she can like really arc up and really look up. I bet you're gonna see these things, maybe the buns coming off. I might actually remove these just for a minute. It's gonna look a little weird, but it's just gonna make my life a little easier here. The shoulders, like the shoulders inside, like the upper shoulder can shift, so you can like move the arm like really far forward. Like she can go all the way fully across her body pretty much, which is pretty impressive. And like you can, I don't know, you can kind of make it look like she's stretching or something, stretching her arm out. This is like really basic. I'm not trying to make this look super good right now, but just kind of show you just how much that poses and looks pretty good while you pose it. It doesn't look like the shoulder's super deformed or anything. That's really nice. I don't think I'd recommend leaving her like that over extended periods of time, but it is pretty cool. But you get lots of shoulder movement, shifting and moving. Like you can see, you can rotate the arm. I wouldn't go crazy with it because you can see I am twisting that quite a bit, but you know, you can get the arm pretty much all the way up. You know, you get rotations can be a little awkward because you can't really get to the joint because the body just kind of squishes. But if you bend the elbow, you can get the arm rotating. The elbow itself can bend quite far, but I would be pretty careful with this because I do think the body is pretty thin at the elbow. The arms in general, especially below the bicep, are pretty thin, and I feel like if a spot on this figure was going to be prone to cracking and being damaged, it'd be the elbows, so you're going to be careful there. But there's just a lot of articulation. There's like multiple joints at the wrist area, like double dumbbell joints and whatnot, to really get a full range of motion at the hands, which is really nice. Again, the torso, you know, you can go really far back and it looks pretty good. There's like multiple joints, like a joint there, a joint just under her chest there. You can crunch it pretty far forward. You can pivot it quite a lot, and you can probably go even further than that. And like I said, you know, you can twist it, and the fabric allows for all this as well, which is great. The hips, you know, you can kick. Ooh, with the, I've seen you can get this leg up really friggin' far, man. Like look how far, and you might be able to get it to go even further. I don't want to like rip the crotch out of her outfit here, but like you can kick really far forward. Like you can't, there are not many like Hot Toys figures or Sideshow or whatever that can do that. It goes back quite a bit. You get to a point where her ass cheeks are a little too big, but and it kind of stops it, but they can go back pretty far. She can do like again, I'd be careful, but you can do like a full friggin' splits, man. That is impressive. And there is like, well, not a lot of rotation, but if you bend the knee, you can get the rotation there. And the knee can go very deep. And then the ankles have like that dumbbell ball joint, so you can get up, down, pivot, a lot of great posability. So you can do a lot of really good stuff with this. Let me see, maybe we can get a quick, not go too crazy here, but get a quick pose. I just popped off the foot. I'm not putting in like crazy effort here. Let me put these back on so it doesn't look super weird. But you can see, obviously, I haven't changed the hand out or anything like that, so it looks a little strange. But she poses really nicely. And if you have a figure like this, or get this figure or whatever, you'll see just the craziness you can do with this is pretty impressive. I'm gonna straighten her back out for now. All right, so moving on to accessories. Maybe the weakest part of the figure is the accessory. She really doesn't come with much, especially with this being, like I said, the reissue and not coming with the whole other outfit to swap with. You don't get a ton. Like I said, these wristbands, they are removable, so I guess you could consider those accessories if you want to. But you do get this little metal tool because the figure actually does have separate rolling eyeballs like a lot of Hot Toys figures have now, and you can move those, so that does help with posing a bit. And I actually think her rolling eyeballs are better than a lot of Hot Toys figures. This tool I think is a lot easier to use than the tool that Hot Toys gives you, and the eyes on this one aren't super loose. On my Hot Toys Grand Admiral Thrawn I've gotten recently, his eyes are pretty loose, and it can be kind of annoying getting them in the position I want. These ones are pretty tight, but not too tight, so it's pretty easy to get the eyes pointed to where I want them to, which is nice. But the only other stuff she comes with is hand options. So out of the box, you have the relaxed open hands. You get a pair of closed fists, of course. You get a pair of flat palm martial arts style hands. And then you get a pair of these splayed out dynamic open hands. And that's it. It would have been nice to get some more stuff. Display base, I think, would have gone a long way with this figure. An alternate head sculpt would have been really cool to get another expression, because like I said before, this face sculpt, it's okay, but it's pretty bland at the end of the day. And I think one where she's like yelling or gritting the teeth or even smiling would have, I think, went a long way. Maybe some effect parts too, like the Jada Toys figure has that effect part that shows her doing like the fast kicking would have been cool, or like a effect to make it look like she's firing out her power from her hands. Energy would have been really nice as well. But yeah, what can you do? But overall, I think this is a really cool figure. If you want to see some really quick comparisons, I guess. Just here she is with the only other Chun-Li figure I have, which is the Jada Toys Chun-Li figure. And that's the other outfit you can get this figure in. But then that's all the accessory I was talking about. And then with another stick scale figure, just because he's literally right here on the table, and he's my other most recent pickup stick scale wise, here is the Hot Toys Tech. I don't know if I'm gonna do a video on this guy or the rest of the Bad Batch, but here he is. And you can see she's definitely in that 6 scale range. She scales pretty nicely. So overall, I do think this is a really cool figure. Do I think it's a must buy? Not really. If you really want like a 6 scale sized figure of Chun-Li, I think this is a really cool option. But there are other options out there. Like I said, the Play Toys figure. I think there might be a company that's even doing an officially licensed one. So it might be worthwhile to wait for that. It might be the Play Toys is more up your alley, or maybe it's this one. That's kind of up to for you to decide. But I really like this figure. I don't regret getting it, because it was one of those figures I pre-ordered because I didn't want to miss out on it. And I was like, did I really want this at the end of the day? But I am glad I got it because I think it is super cool. It poses really cool. It's fun to mess with just because of that posability is really great, and it looks really great on the shelf. So for me, it's a recommend if you're interested. If you can get it at its original retail price, I paid I think like $260 Canadian, which is significantly cheaper than a Hot Toys figure, and I think it's pretty much worth that price, honestly. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video.